welcome to the stream. Tonight I am trying a low latency setup. I will have Joseph on in a moment, and got another guest as well who's been a friend of mine for several years that I recently was able to come back into contact with. So give me a moment. I need to get people in here. But tonight we are drawing the cow session from last time, so that ought to be fun. So I will go ahead and start laying some stuff out while we wait for our guests to join. Welcome, Joseph.
Welcome, Sam. It is good to be here once again on another draw night.
And it has been far too long since we've had a draw night.
Yeah, we both had pretty busy schedules, but I'm glad both our schedules cleared up enough for us to do one tonight.
Me too. All right. So tonight, you want to tell them what we're drawing tonight?
I most certainly do. Tonight we will be drawing a scene from our last Zealot Core playtest. The scene in question is that the group encountered some farmers and some log chopping and cow eagle hybrid milking, but specifically tonight we're drawing a comic sequence, one page mind you, of an axe going into a well and an injury being incurred in the attempt to recover it.
Yes, I'm really looking forward to that. And here we've got our other guest. Hello?
Hello?
There you are.
Yeah, hey, how's it going?
It's going.
So this is my friend Blackheart, is what I'll call him tonight. We've known each other for quite a while. Joseph, the draw pile is up. You should be good to join. It's just on pub.drawpile.net tonight.
Yeah, I'm in the process of getting stuff plugged in and all nice and set up.
Sounds good. Yeah, Blackheart and I met at a one of those Job Corps facilities several years ago, and have been friends ever since. But we got out of touch for a little while, so we reconnected recently, and it's been good. All right. So tonight, the axe scene.
Yes. The axe.
And so I haven't explained to anyone where we were last night.
Oh yes, because even on my stream yesterday I said I would be on your channel later that day, and it never happened.
Yeah, so I had a power outage last night that lasted for 4 hours, and that kind of shut everything down. We were actually going to try playing with multiple people. Blackheart was actually going to be one of the people that we were going to play with to test out, well, multiplayer. So,
Yeah. Before now, we have only been playing me and Sam, but it would have been our first time playing with more than just the two of us.
And I'm really looking forward to Blackheart's character, I gotta say.
Yeah. And I'm actually going to be running said games, so I'm pretty nervous since this is essentially play testing for a published product, and last time I just thought it was going to be a one-off because we weren't set for the next like hard rules, but this time it's that. So,
We're further along.
exactly.
Blackheart, I assume you probably still want to wait to share details about your character till we actually start the session.
Oh yeah, I definitely want it to be mystery up until that point.
I
As yeah, yeah. I guess as the guy running the game, I can wait. Yeah.
I think it'll be good all the same because I mean we've got the important stuff. We've got his character details. Um, have you looked at that yet, Joseph?
I might have all the. Yeah, I know he has like the double weapon of his. So that's about as much as I know. But I just decided, you know what? People surprise people at times. I'm gonna run with this. I'm gonna like show my chops by rolling with whatever he has in store for me.
Like rather than knowing what everyone's playing as out the gate, you're gonna be like, give me what you got and take it from there.
Exactly.
I think that's a good
I
way to
should,
approach it.
yeah, I should be popping in any second. Hopefully.
Well, Blackheart, thanks for joining us tonight.
You are welcome. It's honestly a shame that we didn't get to do what we wanted to do yesterday, but I mean, not much you could do to control that. So
I was so bummed. Like, I'd say you can ask my wife, but I'm telling you now. I was like just laying on the bed, half distraught. It's like I wanted to play that session so bad.
yeah, it killed me too. So I understand. I was like, man, I was so looking forward to this all throughout the week.
So, what did you
I
end up doing last night?
Honestly, I played a little bit of Yu-Gi-Oh and then just like bumped out and called it a night afterwards.
Sometimes I guess that's how it goes.
yeah. I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh on the channel, but at the time I needed to refocus my efforts. One of these days I hope to play Yu-Gi-Oh again, especially since I'm gonna be caught up on FGO content very soon, and I'm gonna need something to fill that void.
Blackheart, have you ever looked at any of the Fate stuff? Not necessarily the game that Joseph's playing, but just there's a whole Fate universe.
Like I've seen it around a lot. Like I've seen like the animes and then bits and pieces of like games and stuff like that, but I've never really looked into them like thoroughly.
I think you would enjoy it. I think so. Blackheart's actually got a story he's been working on for longer than I've known him, which has been a while now, and crafting his own story for his own character, which the character's name is also Blackheart. Um, but he takes bits and pieces of inspiration from around different places. Uh, really interesting stuff. But I think that you'd be able to find some stuff that would be helpful for your story, or at least inspirational in the Fate universe.
I may have to give it a look. See, definitely.
Yeah, the original Fate story definitely feels like it was it has that first story roughness to it, but as further entries get added in, it feels more polished as it goes on.
I
I
honestly would.
know
Go
I
ahead.
had a friend who was actually really deep into the fake stories.
Oh,
I would honestly just start with the anime. I wouldn't even bother with the games. Just start with the anime, or one of the animes, I should say.
Yeah.
You,
I definitely will have to be able to see how how I connect with it.
the first anime was kind of a fairly standard budgeted one, but the second one's had so much budget that they've all like one of them was even called a. So the actual anime is Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works, but people call it Unlimited Budget Works because the animation in it's so pretty. Maybe, Joseph, we should have talked about what scenes we wanted to draw out beforehand.
yeah.
That's all right. I sent you the little map out thing, so I think we're good.
Yeah, that's what I'm referencing.
Yeah, earlier tonight I mapped out the whole page, and then I sent it to Joseph so that we'd have something to work off of. But I thought for Blackheart, I'd leave it for you to just kind of see it come to life as we were working on it.
Ooh, yes, I would like that.
There's less lag tonight on the channel because I'm trying a lower latency setting, so I'm hoping that it's more close. It's not quite real time, but it's a lot closer. Like instead of like a minute lag, it's like maybe 20 seconds or less.
That's pretty good.
So, Joseph, a question for you. Do you want the axe panel, or do you want me to do the big one in the middle of the page?
I I think I'll do the big one in the middle.
Okay. Because I actually kind of want to play with the expressions on some of these other ones, so that'll work. So let's see. Think
Yeah,
you
the things like that. The things like the accent that makes sessions so priceless because you just never expect them.
It's true. That
Yeah.
they're completely unplanned, and then they just happen.
Yeah, when I ran that game, I was not expecting things to go the way they did.
Yeah, I wasn't either, and it happened, and I was just like, okay, I guess that's what we're doing.
Yeah, I just remember, like, we set up that the skills system. I thought, oh, I'll just come up with a farm scenario as a way to test out our skills without needing to do combat, and the rolls were so all over the place that we got what we got.
I'm hoping that the roles will be a little bit more predictable next time. Blackheart, so I know you were there for that one. How many of the playtest sessions have you been able to watch so far?
Unfortunately, not too many. I've only ever caught like a few, and then only watched like maybe a few minutes of them at a time because it was kind of late, like during, yeah, kind of late, and I had to, retire for the day.
Makes sense. I was gonna, if you'd caught more of them, I was gonna ask your opinion on like difficulty of the roles. Though you're welcome to talk about it from what you saw from the one. If you feel like, you worried about the game being too easy when we go into it or anything like that, or?
Too easy. That's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to tell just by observation alone. It's something that you definitely have to
Experience it.
play. Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually kind of why I was eager to start getting some other people in so that we could actually. I think we can't put off that kind of group experience for very long. Otherwise, we're just kind of hindering the game's development. But I'm definitely looking forward to having that session and having more feedback on it.
Oh yeah, I think it will definitely come in handy.
Yeah, I was hoping we'd be able to have it tonight, but one of our other player was not able to make it tonight.
Yes. Our most faithful subscriber, Hollow Udell.
Yeah, he's been there. So he actually was one of Joseph's subscribers, and then I did a joint thing with Joseph, and then he subscribed to mine, and he like shows up to just about everything. unless he's got something going on.
Yes. Yeah. It's probably a story better. Actually, no. This probably be the best time to tell the story in question, since we're
Real,
not playing
real,
the-
real quick though. Can you guys tell me if you could hear my air conditioner?
No, I can't hear anything.
Okay, good. Because it's starting to get hot and I need to keep it on, but I'm always worried about it interfering with the stream. So if neither one of you hears it, then that's good.
Oh yes, the story of how Hollow You Bell subscribed. So, at the start of the year, a little background for that stream. The previous year I had prepared a giveaway MPO account, and so I decided to start this year by giving that account away. So I had a special stream, and practically no one was coming. A few people came and entered, so I thought I can't put it off any longer, I have to put it on. And a lot of people were coming in at the last minute to join and enter, and Hollow You Bell was one of them. And
Was he like the only one who actually stuck around after the contest?
him and a few others, but he's the one who consistently kept returning afterwards. And we actually mentioned it on Discord, but he said he saw my stream because he was at work, and he was listening to some other video on his phone, and autoplay was on, and it autoplays to my giveaway stream.
That's funny. I did not know it auto-played over to your stream.
Yeah, I didn't either until you mentioned it on.
Alright, I'm gonna hop over to this panel. Where are you already working down in the middle? Or are you still on this well one?
I'm still up here.
I think you skipped a panel, but I think it'll be alright.
So I did panel number 2 and panel number 3. I haven't
Well,
touched any.
if you look at 3, it's supposed to be like feet sliding off of a wall.
Oh, yeah. Well, so what I tried to do was it's showing him like slide off the edge from this top of the rail.
That'll work. So yeah, I will stick with what I was planning for this one then. So, one of the fun stories that, so when we were at Job Corps, I think Blackheart showed up like a couple weeks after I was there already. It wasn't too long. How long was it though before we both discovered we played like Final Fantasy XI and then we were in fact on the same server? It was at least...
It really wasn't. It definitely wasn't immediate. Because I think I was there. Because they keep the youth group separated from everybody else for about every year.
Mm-hmm.
And then they moved it into the community. And then after that, I think it was either another week or so before I stumbled into, I think it was a library that you were at.
Maybe.
And I saw you drawing I saw you drawing something about Final Fantasy. And I saw it like over your shoulder, and I was like, "Hey, is that Final Fantasy?"
That's
and
right.
You responded, but and you responded, but I think you're a little hesitant because Job Corps, not everybody there is a friendly face, unfortunately.
Yeah.
you kind of like, yeah, half-hearted, like, yeah, that's Final Fantasy. And I was like, oh my god, hey, I play Final Fantasy too. What server were you on? And it was like after that business that we actually clicked. You're like, oh, okay,
And
Vingar.
yeah, and then we discovered we were actually both in the same dorm building as well.
Yeah, that just made things way more convenient at that point. It was just basically immediate friendship after that.
Yeah, we pretty much went everywhere together after that. One of my fondest memories, I guess you could say, is you consistently beating my butt at Tenkaichi 3.
Speaking of Tenkaichi 3, did y'all see the Tenkaichi 4 teaser?
I did.
Can't remember.
I saw it at the same time as another. It was like another character reveal of Tekken 8, and then they showed a Tenkaichi 4 reveal after that. I was like, oh, that brought back the memories.
And you've always been big into fighting games, right?
I was like I played Street Fighter, Tekken. I played a little bit of Mortal Kombat, but I couldn't really get into Mortal Kombat itself. But yeah, I was quite a big fighting game fan. Oh, and Soul Calibur as well, because I remember you and
Ziggy?
yeah, Ziggy were playing that all together as well.
Yeah, we'd go over and you would consistently destroy us at that as well.
I will admit, I'm a lot better at fighting games back then than I am now. I just fell out of practice. I don't even play
Yeah, we sat down and was like, we're going to play against Blackheart. It means we're going to lose, but we're going to do it anyways. I think there were a couple occasions where I won at least a round or two, not like the whole match, because you know they're usually like 2 or 3 rounds to a match. I think there was just a couple times where I ran one of the rounds, but not the whole match.
You actually were able to win quite a handful of matches.
Was I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I always just remember getting destroyed.
I mean, I definitely had the controller a lot, but yeah, you also were able to beat me quite a few times.
Well, it's nice to know that you remember my winning more than I remember my winning. Because I don't really remember those at all. You know what I do really remember, and I actually even kind of miss, was the gumbo that they would serve at Job Corps.
I guess I need to learn the gumbo when I'm back over there.
I will not complain if you want to take on that task.
I do, there was something about it that was just so delicious.
That, yeah, it was just love. I mean, there was no shortage of some kinds of love going around that facility.
I'll say maybe spite would be a more accurate term, but it could possibly be some sort of love.
No one says that the cooks couldn't put love into their work.
Blackheart, were you ever into the Penguins of Madagascar?
I watched one of their movies.
So they had a TV show for a while.
Oh, right, on the end of the TV show. I didn't watch that.
And there was one episode where Private's making smoothies. And Joseph, here, why don't you be Skipper real quick, and I will be Private.
Oh, a little roll. So we are getting roleplay tonight. Perfect. This is pretty good, Private. What's your secret?
Love, sir. I made them with love.
Love?
Then Kowalski. A chemical reaction in the brain, highly addictive.
No more love with the smoothies. Gotta stay sharp.
And then he smacks the smoothies out of their hands.
Yeah, those feet could really.
That was always one of my favorite movies.
I used to love the TV show. I actually watched it pretty religiously up to a point.
Ah, it was so good. I need to rewatch it.
Yeah, especially now that the boys are old enough.
Yeah, I think they would love it.
Old enough to get a kick out of it, not old enough to put together the adult references.
Yeah, thankfully there weren't too many of those in the TV show.
Very true.
But there's definitely enough of them in the movies.
Oh yeah. Which I mean, it's clever, honestly, that there are shows kind of like old school Animaniacs.
That was a good one.
Yeah, they do it a lot of adult humor in there, and me personally, I never caught them until I was well into my teens, and it's like, wait a second.
There was something I was watching the other day that was like that, and it was like, I never caught any of it when I was younger, and all of a sudden I was watching it was Cars. The Disney's Cars. There's the twins, and they're like, we're your biggest fans, and then they both turn their lights on, and they're flashing lightning.
Oh yeah.
And it's just
subtle things like that will actually get very good. Like you never catch it, so you go back and you're like, wait a sec.
Yeah, I know from looking at videos online, the new Adventures of Batman, the sequel series to Batman the Animated Series, had a lot of references of the Batman world.
Did it?
Yeah, it did. People had put together compilation videos of all the references. So not the animated series, but the new Adventures of Batman, which continued this year.
Was that the one with like older Dick Grayson? Like it was still by Bruce Timm, but
Yes, so it's older Dick Grayson. He had gone on to Nightwing.
and they brought in Tim Drake as Robin.
Yes, exactly.
Tim Drake, also known as somebody else. I won't mention it because if anybody watches and they don't understand the reference.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm probably not understanding the reference entirely.
I'll have to catch you up on this story. He becomes somebody quite tragic, to put it that way.
Okay. Oh, you're talking about like the movie from the Beyond era.
Yeah.
Oh yes, that.
Yeah,
Sometimes I get a hankering to watch that movie again, but at the same time I want to binge the series beforehand.
I actually love the animated movie of Batman, the original animated movie. That was me growing up to some of the Batman fan.
Mask of the Phantasm?
Love that movie too.
Okay, so not the one I was thinking.
There's like, yeah, Mask of the Phantasm. I also like the and the Red Hood too.
Ah, yes, that one was a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Had to expand the bottom of the canvas because I realized I made it the wrong size. Gotta make sure we have enough space for the big panel.
Yeah.
I like watching you guys draw, seeing as how I have no drawing talent whatsoever.
Well, I'm glad you think I have talent. Well, intellectually, I know I have talent. I just have a hard time really internalizing it.
Talent or no, you definitely have some skill that you've put together over the years.
Oh, that is. I will not deny that.
Do you want me to put a rough down for this panel and then let you ink over it, or do you just want to do the whole thing? Because I'm happy either way.
Yeah, I'll just do the whole.
Okay.
One thing me and Gitco were mentioning was
So
trying to get.
I will back up real quick. I am Genko for anyone who doesn't know.
We were mentioning trying to get you into Final Fantasy.
Yes.
Oh yes, I do want to play that again, but it is one of the few MMOs from back in the day that never adopted a free-to-play model, and I've always been hard pressed when it comes to cash. So I've never been consistent.
We were actually talking about 14 earlier today to get you into 14.
Oh, 14.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I started a while back, and I actually have on one of my hard drives a huge selection of videos I recorded. It's when I started playing it.
I didn't realize you'd spent that much time in 14.
Yes and no. I think I went up to level 4, 8 maybe.
So
But
not super far. You know what?
When it comes to videos that you have to go through and edit, it adds up a lot.
Well, I was going to say, it is amazing the amount of video content you can record in just the early levels alone. I started a new character recently just because I was curious. I made it to level 5 or something like that before I even set foot out of the stinking city. And then I finally got out the city and I'm like, alright, what am I going to kill that I can actually have as a challenge? And they're like, nope, we need you to do these killing quests. And I was just like, ah. So I don't know. I mean, it could have been like maybe new character bonuses or things like that. And I will admit, my character does have gear on. Like she's got an earring on that boosts her experience gain by 30%, and then goggles that boost by like 30% or something like that up to level 10. The earring is good up to like level 70.
Yeah. You know, I have a second character as well that I have never touched. I was going to eventually use it to relearn how to play Bard, but the time never came around for me to actually play Bard, especially once they finally released the answer. It just never happened.
Did they? Is Bard in 14?
Oh yeah.
Man, I am way out, way out of date if I didn't realize they had that one.
Yeah, it's in there. It's definitely not, 11 Bard, but it is a Bard.
I've never come across another job that plays anything like 11 Bard.
It was definitely unique and fun if you knew how to play it. Actually, it was fun if you didn't know how to play it. Bard was actually kind of fun at 11.
Bard was incredible. For anyone who doesn't know, it was almost an entirely like non-combat support job. In fact, if you were really good at it. Oh, hell, welcome to Fernando Pineda Andres. Glad you can join us. We are drawing we're talking video games and drawing a scene from RPG session we had the other day. But yeah, so Barton 11 was pretty much non-combat, especially if you were good at it, because you spent the whole time playing songs that were buffing yourselves and debuffing the enemy. Yeah, it was an incredible job.
It was extremely unique. And a really good bard can carry, like literally carry the entire party more than most jobs.
Yeah, I mean, you get a bard and a white mage together, and the party's practically indestructible if they're both really good.
Exactly. And it's just like beautiful synchronization.
I've never.
And
Go ahead.
I think that's like the best way to actually describe the game too. It's just beautiful synchronization.
Yeah, I've never. I mean, 14 definitely has some content, like the what our friend Ziggy's working on. He's been working on the Omega fights. You definitely have to have synchronization for those. But with 11, you had to have it for everything.
Yeah, it definitely had a strict learning curve right before I left of it.
There's still a bit of a learning curve. One thing I do really like, though, is the trust system they added. It's so as far as I can tell, correct me if I'm wrong, there's a very limited area which you can use trusts in 14.
As far as I know, you can use them for storyline purposes.
See,
Like anything like side dungeons or stuff like that, like some dungeons and everything, they're not available. But main quest, you can use them to take them all the way up to like usually Heaven's Ward or Stormblood. But Stormblood might be the next coming up in a few weeks. So.
did you ever get to use the trusts in 11?
I did not.
So trusts in 11 are available just about anywhere. That they fully replace partying, especially in the early levels. Like you can go 1 to 99, leveling in all the old areas we're used to, fully supported by trusts.
Wow. I can see that as both a well, this is my old school PvP, but I can see that as both a good and a bad thing. Because at 11 back in the day, it's because you did have trust that you had to really learn what you were doing. Like back from that type of ordeal, all about what you would play, you really had to get into it. But at the same time, it's also good because people were actually very picky on what kind of classes they wanted to party with. And again, the old me speaking, like me looking for a party as a monk yielded some very long results. Like having to wait like an hour or something like that for partying, right?
I know one of the struggles is there was a lot of people who wanted to level a lot of jobs in 11, but they weren't proficient at them. And so people would experience those and then they'd be like, well, I don't want another monk, or I don't want another thief, or I don't want another this. And so for those who were good at them, I mean, you could hold your own just fine in a party, but they were like, no, I just want the optimal experience. So even though there's been a monk sitting there for the last 30 minutes, I'm willing to keep waiting for a warrior or something else.
Yeah. Yeah, that's basically it. And I will admit, I wasn't the best monk, but I was a good monk.
You know,
I was able to do what actually needed to do.
I would say that about myself as a thief as well. I was not the greatest thief in the world by any means, but I was competent.
Like, yeah, I knew the ins and outs of what I needed to do. But what I will say is I was an awesome person.
Odd
I was an awesome Dark Knight.
Yeah, I wanted to main Dark Knight, but I realized my playstyle suited me a little better.
Oh, I was a Dark Knight before, and I wholeheartedly apologize to any dealer that was in the group when I was a Dark Knight, because Ooh, I expended some HP trying to kill everything, and boy was it brutal, especially for the white mages.
Yeah, so Joseph, really good Dark Knights in 11 could pull hate off the tank, or pull aggro off the tank constantly. But they were also not tank classes, and they were a little bit on the squishier side for a damage dealer. And so tanks are meant to be defensive. It's fairly easy to keep them alive, generally, because their HP lasts longer. But as soon as the Dark Knight started getting hit, you just saw their HP start rapidly dropping, and the healer's like, crap.
Yeah. Sounds like that class did a bit more playtest.
No, it played exactly as it was supposed to.
Oh yeah, definitely. And the worst part is, Kate will be doing his thing, and then all of a sudden, I would realize, hey, I can magic, magic burst on some of what the people are doing, and that was the nightmare right there. I would magic burst combo with somebody else, almost kill the enemy, but not quite. Pull the aggro off the tank. And things would just go into chaos as the enemies tried to rip my face in half.
See, I learned to watch for Dark Knights. Not in a bad way by any means, but I would stand behind the tank, and if I saw the Dark Knight getting ready to unload, I'd be like, and trick attack is up.
It was a good thing to have. But that was also another thing. A Dark Knight with the sub of Thief. Ooh.
Do so much damage.
Oh, yeah. The beauty of that damage. It's either Dark Knight Thief or Dark Knight Samurai. You can do some beautiful damage with that class right there.
I never felt disappointed when I developed like competency in 11. They did a good job of making you feel like rewarded or validated for feeling good or being good at a job. How's the feeling for that in 14? Because I move through the content so fast, it's hard to tell if I'm actually getting good at something.
It becomes more apparent when you get out of a realm board. Like a realm board, they have things pretty constant. Like, especially since you're not really most likely not going to be playing with other people. The prospects aren't really, there for you to really determine how good you are. But once you hit Heaven's Ward, there may be some content where you do have to play with people, especially on the side dungeons, and just when you don't complete them. And that's where you'll actually be able to see the results of, you playing your match and everything.
So like it'll be kind of it's content you have to do, and you'll reach a point where, not like earlier today we were playing where you were just slaughtering stuff for me. Like people have to pull some weight.
Right. And maybe if we do what Ziggy mentioned, and I take you to a certain spot, you may actually be able to see, more results there too.
I'll look forward to that. But and I don't mind waiting till endgame to find out. Because I do have like you there to tell me your rotations are looking good and things like that. And so it's like, even though I don't see immediately, it's like, oh, if he says my rotations are good, I'll probably be fine by the time I get there.
Oh yeah, definitely. The rotations are actually pretty straightforward for 14. It's just how you can optimize the damage of that rotation that makes it different. Like
That
how
makes
fast
sense.
are you to use your off cooldown in contrast to your actual global cooldown, your rotation and cooldown.
That makes sense.
Those a difference.
I looked into that one ability, form shift, and it's like my level is high enough to learn it, but I'm locked out from like a story thing or something that prevents me from learning it at the moment.
Yeah, for that you will unlock the quest to obtain it once you hit heaven.
Got it.
But I will say, because of the fact that most of the stuff that you're going to be doing is still having a roll aboard, if you wanted to keep your samurai up to the same place as your monk, you can never do that.
Like, go ahead and stop with the monk for a bit and just play samurai for a bit while I continue on the Realm Reborn stuff?
Right, because if I remember correctly, your monk is like 52.
He is, yeah.
Yeah, he's with me. That's more than qualified for Heavenborn. But if you wanted your samurai to also be able to hit Heavenborn, it's a good place to start now.
Okay. In that case, I will spend some time working on my samurai as well, using my nice glowing blades.
Especially because monk and samurai both wear the same gear, so I mean, there's no damper on the gear either.
Yeah, when I just saw that, I was like, whoa, samurai and monk wear the same gear in this game? I'm not going to complain, that's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, it's kind of like the same thing in 11, where they start off with the same gear, and they kind of branch off with their own separate gear.
I look forward to the separate unique gear as well. But hopefully the Kama look less dress-like and more pants-like the further I go.
Yeah, those shorts.
The monk ones? Yeah, the Haidate. Those are... Oh.
There
Yeah.
is one gear set that I personally think worst is
And that?
part of that gear. Yeah. And that's only because it looks a little too flamboyant, in my opinion.
I can appreciate that. Especially if you've got the idea in your head, like, I want to make a monk that feels extremely masculine.
Right. Which is what my character is supposed to be. It's like, his monk, like, fighting style is it's a masculine fighting style. So, when you hear his very flamboyant, it's definitely the character. Especially depending on the blade that you're playing, it definitely doesn't fit fine.
You know, sometimes I look at my character like, you are not the most manliest looking character that you could be. I'm like, man, I unintentionally created a complete anime pretty boy.
But that might actually explain why he looks so much better in the relic gear than my character ever did.
You know, that might actually completely explain it.
Because as a Highlander, I'm big and bulky, and then I have all these short yellow gear, and it's just not matching at all.
Yeah, and my character looks like he should be like lead singer in a boy band or something like that. Makes me wonder what Joseph's character is going to look like. Or what does your character look like, Joseph?
I forget. The videos are over at your place.
Did you you played an elf still, right?
Yes, I did play an Elvis.
Joseph's an elf fan.
Oh, well, I mean, he's he's one of those people that branch off into races, because I know there's a lot of Lakotes, a lot of buddy girls and guys off in the game. There's a lot of different races, but I know like the ones that are used the least are the humans and the elves, surprisingly.
I would imagine the bunnies and the cats are the ones used the most.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, and I know they're not called Galgers, but I can't remember that they use for 14, but they're also used way less. I think they're the least of all the races.
That almost makes
Hey,
me want to make one just to see fewer of myself running around the world. But yeah, I noticed like right away, it was wild how many cat people and how many bunny people there were in the game.
Oh yeah, they are overpopulated. So
sounds like a calling. Sounds like the Elder Blood.
Elmer Fudd.
Yeah.
Shh, we're hunting for wabbits.
I'm actually getting quite sad about yesterday. Like, there was so much I was planning to do. I had scenarios built up into my mind of all the things my characters going to be doing, and then it all falls apart in the there.
Yeah, I still can't believe the power is out for 4 hours.
Yeah. I could. Yeah, it's like I'm a very schedule-oriented kind of guy. I'm in the process of moving right now, so I scheduled that my packing for the day would be done at this time because I had 2 streams to do, and I found out the second stream wasn't happening, and that really threw out my scheduling, especially since we were in let's see if the store lets up mode. So I was like, all that time, I could have done something with all that time.
Yeah,
I think what works for me is that I actually had like a nice little corner. I had my drinks and my snacks and everything nice and ready for when the session started. And then the news came by, like, I got a store, my power's out. I'm just like,
no.
My planning gone to waste.
Yeah, I was literally sitting here at my desk just like, it's almost time, 30 minutes to go, and then just that and then the sound sitting here pitch black, and I was just like, oh no. And yeah, I was like, please get the power back up. And then my wife is like, yeah, there's over 200 people without power at the moment. I was like, I get a very strong feeling that our power is not going to be up in time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
But we will definitely get to that in the near future.
Yes. I am excited for that. Speaking of games, were you going to say something?
No, go ahead.
Okay, so speaking of games, last night I toyed around with ChatGPT for creating common writers in old school Dungeons and Dragons style games.
How'd that go?
I thought it went pretty well. I thought to myself, wait a minute, couldn't I just ask that to make me a class and a race for common writers and cyborgs? So I did that, and it did a real good job doing it. And I even threw in stat blocks for henchmen and a spider monster. So I was pretty pleased with that. And it did it in a way that made sense that I've spent years struggling with when trying to make a custom class for that.
It is wild what ChatGPT can do.
Yes.
Blackheart, have you played with it at all? Blackheart, have you played with ChatGPT at all? Maybe he stepped away for a second.
Yeah, maybe he was thirsty or something. It is thirsty work when we keep flapping our gums.
It really is.
I did step away, but no, I haven't tried it at all.
You definitely should try it at some point. It is
Real quick,
crazy.
where it shows on the stream, it isn't showing the spot where we're drawing, I believe.
Oh, that's... Oh, it's because I'm drawing up top and you're drawing down bottom.
I didn't realize you were drawing up top.
Yeah, I had only sketched in that top panel, and so I was trying to
Got it.
get to it. Let's see if I can zoom in.
Yeah, at the moment, I'm taking a small dinner break, so there's nothing to see from me at the moment.
Oh, well, good to know. If you're taking a small dinner break, I'm going to zoom way in on this panel that I'm working on.
Okay. Okay, yeah, I can see what you did now. But anyway, as y'all were saying,
So I'm planning to. Joseph's been running a small, like, 2-player campaign for my brother-in-law and I, and so when he finishes, I'm planning to take over and run a Legend of Zelda themed campaign using the One Ring role-playing system. But I've started using ChatGPT to help throw the world together. And it's like, hey, ChatGPT, I need a village in the Legend of Zelda world. Can you generate me a village? It's like, yes, here's a village name that exists in location with, actual details. It's like, cool. Can you please populate the village with like 20 people and give them jobs and titles and roles? And it's like, sure, here's everyone that lives in your village. It's just like that.
well,
Yeah.
yeah, and I recall, excuse me, I recall you saying you were going to make a video for your channel showing how to use ChatGPT for role-playing games and assistant game mastery.
I was gonna do that. I know I did one for, like, just more showing off character creation, but I don't think I ever did that one. I think things got crazy with work and it kind of fell off. But yeah, I think that would be a good one to still do and show people exactly. Like, you don't need ChatGPT to be the DM, but as a DM, there's definitely some big ways you can make use of it.
Mm-hmm.
This panel just is a little shorter than I would normally make because the top of the axe is cropped off.
It works for the image, though.
Does this kind of give that anime effect where they're like staring at each other in a showdown?
It does. Oh, hey, Hollow You Bell. Glad to have you here.
Welcome, Hollow. Glad you could join us. Hopefully your schoolwork wasn't too challenging. But I figured it'd be fun, like, right before he loses the axe, to make him look like he's, like, really intensely focused, like, I'm gonna chop this wood. I think it makes it funnier when the accident happens, when they're, like, seriously hardcore trying to do their best at it, and then whoop!
Yeah, the next panel there.
It's even better, like, when they're, like, in those animes where they're, like, so good at everything, and then this one simple task occurs, and they can't do it whatsoever.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Joseph's character's been really good with, like, handling, like, being bad guys and, like, talking. He's a very fancy talker, I would say. But as soon as he gets in front of a piece of wood on a farm,
I never thought of it that way, but yeah, that's exactly what happened.
it's fun, the contrast in our styles. And I think it makes, like, this transition from, like, very seriously getting ready to cut that wood to losing that axe all the better.
Yeah. Even the transition in the next 3 panels works well with changing style.
Yeah. Blackguard, I was gonna say, because you were talking about earlier not having any drawing skills, I am actually working on a drawing course at the moment.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my goal is to find a way to help people learn to draw quickly and simply. Because, a lot of people don't want to learn how to draw because it's a very time consuming effort. And so my goal is to provide a drawing system. Yeah, hello, I'm working on a drawing course. Um, it's specifically designed to teach people to learn to draw in as short a time as possible by focusing actually on muscle development.
Yeah, I know I could definitely use the course when it's available.
So my nickname for the course is Art Muscles, but I'm not going to approach it like a big buff guy would. Yeah, you got to build the right muscles. Oh, Hollow's interested. Good to know. It's going to be more like the professor. I'm not going to present myself this way in the course, but it's the first image that comes to mind, like this German professor. It's like, what shall I tell you? There is a scientific reason you cannot draw. You see this? This is the muscle inside your arm. The muscle, it is weak.
Yeah.
And so it's not even about like, so bodybuilders, they focus on building muscle needed to just generically be strong. But even a bodybuilder can still be absolutely horrible at drawing. And the reason is because even though they've like built their muscles, they have not built the right ones for art. They haven't built their art muscles. And so my course is specifically focused on the tendons and muscles you need to gain control to use your arm for drawing.
And now that you mention that, it's pretty interesting because the samurai would learn calligraphy back in the day in addition to their sword swinging.
Yeah, but like they've learned it in addition, and because it required its own set of skill and development. But it was a great accompaniment to their samurai skills because it added a whole extra level of finesse.
Mm-hmm.
Hollow
Glad
says,
we have your attention, Hello.
but yeah, so that I technically have I haven't made it live yet, but I've got an ebook that I made. It's like $7, and then I've got some videos that you can, like optional ones that can be bought with it. And it's like my first attempt to teach that, but I've been like nervous to actually make it available for people because it's like, no one's gonna want it.
Well, we know about these two people who would want it.
You and
Three
Hop.
if you count me.
Yeah, well, I will definitely start making it available then.
Yeah. And to answer your earlier question, Hollow, about what you missed, we were talking about a lot of Final Fantasy XIV stuff and stories about meeting one another and just drawing this piece of a good time from a couple weeks ago.
Now, we were talking about how like one of the cool things about role-playing games is you just never know what's going to happen. They're not like video games where you have like this script that is just beautifully followed. Now, role-playing games, a bunch of crap can happen, and this is a good example of just something that happened when roles went bad.
You just have no prediction of it whatsoever. It's like even the most well planned out role play, somebody can get like that determining role, make it a fail, and you're just like, oh, huh. How to go about this? That wasn't supposed to happen.
It's like that one campaign we played in at Job Corps. So one of the other guys who I never know what to call them. Are they dorm mates or roommates? Because even though like we were in a dorm, but it was just like one giant open room.
You were location mates.
We were location mates, but this other guy ran a session for us, and we were all like entry level characters. And we were fighting a thing, and like I want to grapple this thing. He's like, you want to what? This guy's like level whatever, and then I like rolled the nat 20, and then I rolled another one to confirm it, and ended up like grappling this thing and choking him out.
Yeah, I kind of like one of my earlier experiences. We got attacked by zombies, and I don't know why, but I made the conscious decision to stab it with my spear, and he's just like looks at me for like a few seconds, just like, well, okay. Rolled, got it. I got a good roll, but I mean, it's a zombie, so I stab it, and it's just out of reach of my face, and he's clawing and trying to bite me and everything else. I'm like, touche. I should have thought about that.
But yeah, there's just so much fun you can have with role-playing games. Do you remember how I was like, I was concerned because if we didn't kill the thing, like I subdued it, knocked it out, but if we didn't kill it, he was just going to get back up, break the bonds, and start attacking us again. So I just like stomped on the character's neck until he was no longer among the living.
I do remember that.
The DM was like, okay, I'm not going to make you roll for it because, yeah, it's going to work.
Dead.
Yeah, I know when I DM when I know that they, no matter what they roll, it's gonna be enough damage to kill it. I just omit the roll for that. And like, it's gonna be dead no matter what you roll. So it's dead.
One thing that I did actually like is that whenever we did make the killing blow, he would allow us to like describe how we killed the monster or whatever it was that we were fighting.
I appreciated that as well.
I should do that in the next game I run.
I've been trying to do more of that as well. Like, allow the players to define what their characters are doing. Give their characters life.
Yeah, that's basically what he did. He would just let us define how our characters actually, like, even in combat, just like how would your character do this, without actually saying it. He'd just be like, so how do you kill it? In what way? Type of ordeal. Or if we cast like a magic spell, like, okay, so what does it look like? Or how do other people perceive it, type of thing. It was actually really nice. I liked it.
Yeah, so I think let's remember to do that, Joseph, when we do the next playtest.
All right. If I forget, you're more than welcome to remind me.
Are you still on a meal break, or are you back to drawing again?
Oh yeah, I meant to say that. I am back to draw.
All right, well, I'll finish this panel up a little later. Let me jump to the bottom so we can see what you're doing. But yeah, Hollow, we're working on the act scene. Just trying to get through this page.
Yeah. How about you show them the middle panel?
Will do. There's his character falling on the axe. You definitely did it differently than how I would have done it. But I think yours has a lot more life than I think the one I would have given.
Yeah, I just tried to remember the lessons I've learned from the King of Comets himself.
The dude's in so much pain he doesn't even have eyebrows.
I did realize I omitted the eyebrows. That's
I love I love the tears that you've got coming down this guy's face.
yeah.
At the moment, it looks like you've got a bird or something that's crying. Can you see by the shape how it kind of looks like a bird?
Yes, no.
All right, here's the panel I've been looking forward to. Is the one I'm working on now. Definitely plowing through this page a whole lot faster than I had planned. Maybe we'll add a little bit of color in a few places afterwards, after all.
Not bad. So is that a good or a bad thing?
What?
I was about to ask if that was good or bad.
Usually good.
But usually, because of my art style, I tend to add color because I finish faster than Sam.
Yeah, my pencils take a whole lot longer.
That is actually something that I was going to talk about in Discord was defining our characters, like how they look and everything.
I mean, you can do that however you want, pretty much. Or you talk about like clothing design and things like that, or
Well, just not so much clothing because I'm pretty sure that won't really take too much into it unless you guys have got like an entire gear system.
nah, not at the moment.
Yeah, so it won't matter too much. Just just the character look in general.
Yeah, you're welcome to come up however you want. I mean, in the free world especially, you're gonna have everything that we pretty much have in our day-to-day lives. So every race, creed, ethnicity. The free world there is not too different from our free world, except that it's a little bit more technologically advanced.
But I would say it's on the verge of becoming even more advanced, but not quite there yet.
No, their free world, the free world in the story is more technologically advanced than our current world is.
Uh,
So
Right.
I mean, Blackheart's gonna have a gun that's powered by a like a plasma coil, plasma cell.
Yeah, I'm very excited to try that weapon creation out.
I'm excited to
See it put into
see how
action.
it will see it in action, make the world react to it. So I'm excited for my part in it.
I really wish there was an easy way to like show the whole thing that I'm working on, or that we're working on.
Yeah, but at least we're showing the panels we're both working on.
That's true. Some of the other drawing programs I use are very good at. Like you can open up a second window, and so you can, and then one will they'll be the same piece. You have a second window open, so you're able to see, always see the whole thing. But I don't think Drawpile supports that. Okay. So.
No, don't lie, man. Joseph's pedal. I can just see the other character just doing like a slow clap with that gauge that he has.
In which one?
And Joseph's pedal, the just slowly clapping at the guy crying, just like clap like
We didn't draw the farmer, but I'm like this whole time I'm trying to imagine what the farmer would be doing.
yeah.
How did I do this guy's legs over here? Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, so for the joys of using an axe when you're not properly trained to do so.
Yeah. I'm sure the closest axe training they've had up to this point was chopping skulls in half with it rather than chopping wood.
So I imagine this character's practically got a diaper on. I got like all these little medical tape pieces on it to help keep it in place. My drawing's definitely come a long way from where it was back in Job Corps.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Also, I'm willing to bet my character's probably going to be the oldest one in the group.
Interesting.
Based on what I have seen so far, yes.
Yeah, I figured as much.
Because I believe mine and Hollow's characters are both in the 20s.
Excuse me.
And yours is in early 30s.
Yep.
My character is totally like the young, ambitious kind.
Yeah, I was gonna make this my character kind of like the seasoned, I guess you could say, seasoned veteran, as you could say.
I think that,
Getting to that point.
I think that sounds good. And Hollow's character, based on what I've seen in the Discord, is a bit of a science experiment.
I think experiment.
Have you seen One Punch Man? I'm gonna assume
I have.
so. What is his
Genos?
yeah? Imagine like a very, very, very early stage Genos. That's kind of what I'm envisioning.
I see. You know, I was actually gonna do the same thing that you told me about the, you know, the science level of the world. I was just like, it wouldn't really fit what I was trying to go for, so I went with something else.
Yeah. So when I say very, very early stage, he's got one prosthetic arm with very minimal bionics installed in it. Okay.
But I think what I came up with is going to be just as equally as interesting, if not mysterious. I will say, without giving too much away, the character design and positioning is definitely going to be attempting to throw people out for a loop. The media is included.
I made the mistake of using my right hand tonight, and now it is not happy. That's part of why we've been selling through this page, is because I was like, I'm going to use my right hand tonight. But it's also been a while since I used my right hand for something like this, and so I had no idea what my limit was anymore. It looks like my limit's right at about an hour for drawing with my right hand. Alright, time to swap.
Getting carpal tunnel.
I injured it in karate a couple years ago, and it's never been the same since.
Sounds about right with my predicted it as well.
What happened to you?
Mine's more towards carpal tunnel, but I'm pretty sure the martial arts that I practice didn't really help out physically much either. And my left hand is just, it doesn't work as it should. We'll put it that way. I could do like everyday tasks, lifting, fully lifted, stuff like that. But too much, and I'll definitely kill it. We'll put it that way.
I am going to draw this last thing with my right hand. And then I'm
My
gonna
martial art injury was on the knee. Even to this day, if I'm sitting the wrong way or if I'm lying down with it at a wrong angle, it will eventually accumulate some pain, and it'll take a while for me to keep it in a good position for the pain to go away.
That's unfortunate. Look at all of us with martial arts accents.
Yeah. Well, Hollow said, without giving too much away, he wants to keep the whole reasoning to what he is something to explore as this story goes on with the talisman and the etchings on it, and why he has transcribed them onto his blade.
That is perfectly reasonable, I think.
Yeah.
I like the idea of having things to discover about characters as we play.
Yeah, and I will say that is fair because I'm basically doing the exact same thing. Like, I'll give some details, but a lot of this gets going to be shrouded in mystery.
Yeah, I will probably reveal things about my character as I go as well, though I will say my character is probably much more straightforward than your guys' characters. He's definitely got a lot less secrets. He's an ambitious guy, there to do a job, and okay, now I'm going to switch my hand. He's going to do it.
This is like my character, especially when you look at, like, if you look at his inventory and that special item, definitely like, oh, what is that about?
Yeah, it's not every day someone carries one of those into battle.
Pretty much.
And I like the idea of like making it almost a requirement that everyone needs to start with something special. Because it forces people to think about their backgrounds and make some decisions.
Yeah, it definitely encourages the role play aspect of it being a role playing game.
Speaking of role-playing games, we should coerce Hollow into play Final Fantasy as well.
Don't know if we'd need to coerce him into it. He might. Hollow's pretty. He's voiced being interested in playing stuff with us before. It's just he's. I think he's an Xbox player. And so, one of the games we were gonna play wasn't compatible between our PC versions and his Xbox version.
I see.
Is there a Xbox version of Final Fantasy 14? Oh, PlayStation mainly. That works out then. He could play Final Fantasy with us if he was interested.
Oh yeah, that is perfect.
Yeah, Hollow, if you're interested in Final Fantasy 14, we are getting into that. Yes, Joseph.
Could you move layer 2 under owner layer 1 and turn off owner layer 1?
Done.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, one thing about draw pile is the guest cannot move the layers around.
Which is weird, but oh, another thing about my drawing course is because I went through the experience of learning to draw over again. My course is approached from the angle of, I had to learn how to draw 2 times. And so a lot of people, when they teach drawing lessons, they're only teaching from their years of experience that they've had from learning to draw the 1 time. But because I had to learn to draw a 2nd time, I had to break everything down so that it was easy to process for myself, so that I knew what I was trying to do with my left hand. And so because I went through that process and I had to break everything down, I can share that stuff with. I understand what it's like to not know how to draw anymore. That kind of approach.
Yeah.
Because I think one thing a lot of art instructional people, art educators, fail to appreciate is how hard it is for people who don't know how to draw to learn that as a skill.
Yeah, like that beginning step, getting over that hurdle, as they say.
Yeah, there is definitely a hump that you have to get over, and it's not easy as just keep practicing.
Yeah, one of my struggles was recognizing the hump because I never felt the hump. It wasn't until years later when I took actually looked through my old art and compared it to my new art did I realize I unknowingly got through that hump.
Yeah, it's definitely there. Let's see. Hollow says he's always wanted to get into Final Fantasy. Has been interested ever since he played Kingdom Hearts. So 14 is one of the MMORPG ones. I will throw out right up the front that it is subscription based, but they also have it so that the trial version now is not time based. In fact, you can play through the trial up through like I think it's like the first 2 expansions or something like that.
Yes, completely free. The only they do cut out a lot of the essential stuff, like the market board, the link shell free company, and stuff like that. But other than that, yeah, the game is just completely free. You just play it and you keep going. And then if you ever just like, oh, I actually love this game,
Then you can buy it and keep using the same account and just unlock all the restrictions.
Yep.
I thought it was a genius move when they did that. It's like, oh, let's just make so much of the game free.
Yeah, and it's just like amazing because it actually shows that they actually do care about their customers, because a lot of other game companies will just be like, you know, screw that. We'll give you a time limit, and if you like the game or not, it's up to you. But they're just like,
Just play it.
as long as you want. Yeah, just play. If you like it, get it. If not, we understand.
And I think like that's plenty of content to decide if you like the game or not.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get my wife into at least trying it as well, since it's free.
I will. It's definitely also a very, very good game
It
to
is.
play if you are new to MMOs.
And if you like stories, there's no shortage of
Yeah,
multiple storylines and stuff in the game.
absolutely. Like the game is very, very kind to newcomers. It only ever picks up after Heaven's Ward, which is great because that's as much free time as you can get to play.
I am looking forward to getting good because I honestly thoroughly enjoyed A Realm Reborn, but I'm told that it's like the weakest story. So I'm like, well, if this is the weakest one, I'm really excited to see what the rest of them are like.
Oh yeah, yeah. It is absolutely the weakest.
Joseph, I've noticed you have not been paying attention at all to what my character's wearing in my panels.
Yeah.
My character is dressed for the farm work. Don't worry about it though. Just leave it. It'll make a fun back and forth. If anything, we can be like in the last panel. My character has gotten dressed again, and we can even let. I'll just do this.
Later that day. Part
Next
after
day.
abandoned-
There we go. Next day.
Well, we don't know what happens the next day because of where we left off.
Yeah, but I mean, I can absolutely see this happening the next day. I just like imagine my guy. He's like giving your character some kind of like tetanus shot or something like that.
One character looks battered and bruised, the other one just looks highly annoyed.
Yeah. As it should be. So, just because I'm curious, did you guys notice that I slowed down at all when I switched hands?
Not until you said something.
Yeah, that's good. It means that most people won't know unless I point it out. I was doing some practice the other day and realized I'm just about to full speed with my left hand.
I'm about to say, oh, red hair.
Yep. He's correct.
What color hair did my character have? I don't even know. Did I even decide what color hair my character had?
Yeah, I know you gave him something in the last thumbnail you clicked on.
That's right. And this is like, I think, the first time we've seen your character without a mask on.
Yeah, he's always been in his scout's helmet.
You know what we forgot to draw in this comic so far?
The dog?
Yeah.
Well, I remember in the game the dog was hanging out with the cats.
That's right. So the cat dog would have been in the spot anyways.
Yes.
Speaking of which, what did you think of my character's initial abilities?
I think they're going to work. It looks like you've got... I noticed you had healing abilities. And so I didn't know, was he going to kind of be a healer helping keep others alive? Or that he's planning to use the healing spells to keep himself alive so he can fight longer? But I thought it looked like a fun set, and it's definitely an interesting combat contrast to the abilities my character started with, since they're both like melee martial artists.
Yeah, I remember you saying that you had the same exact like concept, but a different way of going about it.
I don't know if I'd say the same exact concept, but like I could tell, like our starting stats are in the same thing, like 3, 2, 1, 1, 1.
Oh yeah.
And then we both have like a good amount of points into the close combat, but then there's a little bit of variation. Like mine is using all destructive magic, just about. Like he's completely the kind. He gets on the battlefield. You will fear me and what I represent for my god, and things like that. As he's like throwing flames around and stuff like that.
Is all of our characters actually going to be close range combat?
I don't actually know.
Well, I'm getting
I need
you.
I need to take a look at Hollow's sheet again. Like my character does have ranged combat abilities. I think I just didn't max them.
Well, I guess in terms of that, I guess 5 would be closest to mid-range because of his pod post.
Yeah, I was gonna say yours isn't entirely close combat. He does have those weapons,
Yeah.
and mine is planning to use the spells as his mid-range. Joseph and I were talking. I can't remember if we talked about this in the one session where it was like the brainstorming. Did we talk about utilizing distances for different effects? Like if you're up close to them, you can use the same spell within a touch range as you could at a distance, and you just get different like maybe you get a bonus for using it point blank versus a penalty for using it certain distances away.
We may or may not have, but distance definitely came up in the conversation. Oh, I remember it came up in terms of rolling to see if you hit or miss. It's like if you're touching them, there's no way you're going to miss. Versus if you're trying to throw it at them, then there's a chance they can dodge.
Yeah. So that's one thing we've been thinking about. We're going to have adjustable ranges for the spells. There will not be any dedicated, this is a ranged spell, this is a touch spell. No, every spell can be one or the other. And you just, your penalties and scores and stuff get adjusted depending on how close you are to the target.
I see. Will there be like AoE spells?
There will be, though we may not have those starting out.
That makes sense.
But absolutely, there's going to be area of effect. I think they play like a big role. Like, my mind always goes back, funny enough, to one spell and one alone when I think of like some of the most impactful AOE I've ever seen, which is the Sleep 2 in Final Fantasy XI.
Yes. The oh crap button in Final Fantasy 11.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, you're in the middle of leveling, and all of a sudden you've got like links or ads or something, and a good black mage is like, boom, Sleep 2, and they can just
Run
keep.
away!
If you even run away, sometimes it was enough to just get them slept, and you'd plow through them in order.
True though, because I do believe you have to do that in the. You can do that in the ruins that I can't remember the name of. But it's like you would go to the ruins and you would have to fall down a hole and fight beetles down that hole. And sometimes they would link together, and you had like they just would sleep one while you finish off the other one.
I know what you're talking about. That is, gosh, why can't I remember? But I know what you're talking about. Garlight Citadel.
Yeah, I think that is it.
It's connected to the Merifated Mountains.
Yep, that is it. That's it. Also, those beetles were brutal.
Oh, they were so powerful.
Huge.
Crawler's Nest was another place where you'd make use of that.
I remember Crawler's Nest so well, but only because later on, if you didn't have a camp, if you could have set camp at the very entrance, and you had to go to the other, like another camp deep in there, it was almost guaranteed you were going to aggro at least 2 crawlers before you got to that camp.
Yeah.
And if you were very unlucky, maybe even a scorpion.
Yeah, that Crawler's Nest was brutal.
It was. Especially since everything in there was like down. So you had to be careful about how close you got to them.
Yeah. And if you remembered silent potions, that made a huge difference.
Oh yeah.
But even then, I think there was still a couple things in there that had like true hearing.
I believe so, but I don't think I ever went deep enough in there to actually run into ones that were true hearing. I know with the expansion, the Asugan, I do believe it was called.
Otugan? Oturgan?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember the imps there had true sight and true hearing.
Treasures of Oturgan.
Yeah. And I always hated those imps because, well, they had true sight and true hearing. You couldn't, not aggro them.
Yeah, you just had to be able to kill them or pray you could run fast, outrun them.
Pretty much.
And then they were black mages as well, so they would bind you and sleep you and paralyze you, and then they'd nuke you to death.
Yeah. They've done that quite a few times, like when I was working for camp. Like, oh, bound. Oh, paralyzed. Also, here's a fire 3.
Yeah. It's like, no, just let me go. Okay, okay. After we're done cooking you. All right. I think this is looking pretty good. Anything you were hoping to be a little different, Blackheart? Pretty well fits the expectation.
Oh yeah, this definitely meets his expectation.
Glad we could satisfy.
You done, Joseph? Are you still coloring?
No, I'm done.
All right. Let's sign it on. You know, I'll just start putting my name here. If you ever notice, I'll put like a RH or LH or BH. It just stands for left hand, right hand, both hand, for me to keep track of what I'm working on over the years.
Okay, I see.
I think that turned out pretty good.
Me too.
Oh, I did want to add a text bubble to that last one.
I had to add a rope in that panel under the big one because you've neglected to put a rope there.
Which one?
The one where he's pulling him out.
I was going to, I just hadn't gotten back to it yet. But I erased the rope that was there and drew it. Oh, you're talking about down into the...
Yeah, into the well. Yeah, it was like, is he just pulling on the rope? It's like, oh, is he actually trying to get him out? So it dawned on me he kind of added in the rest of it.
I'm actually going to redo that one because yours was loose. And that rope would be way tight because of the weight that's down there.
Got it.
Okay, let me zoom back out. Oh no, text bubble. I love the tears that Joseph's character has.
Yeah. I just saw the example picture and it just felt right to put that on.
Just gonna fill this with some white real quick.
This day never happened.
Yeah. So the main thing we're gonna walk away from this is after this day, my character was heard to say in rough situations, "Holy cowgirl."
Yeah.
I just imagine like
for that our next session where it's those characters again.
I definitely like imagine like Robin with Batman. Holy cowgirl, Batman. Okay, let's see. Zealot.
This is the equivalent of T4 Stars jockstrap incident. Yeah.
I can see that.
So we never actually see the jog strap incident. We only have bits and pieces of it from conversations here and there, but never seen the incident itself.
Blackheart, did you keep up with Dragon Ball Z Abridged after Job Corps?
I did.
We did.
It's quite the shame that they stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the moment they're continuing it through a series called Hiffle. It's 3D animated and it's about the villains in Hiffle, the home of infinite losers.
Yeah, it's good, but it's just not as good as the original content. But I mean,
Right.
take what you can, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what the situation is.
I realized I've been like probably half cut off the edge of the video this whole time. Oh well, the comic was the important thing.
Right.
All right, Joseph, any announcements before we finish up?
Yes. Right now, for those who don't know, I have a poll on my YouTube channel to decide what my next solo RPG is going to be. Right now,
Final
the
Fantasy
original,
14. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah. Right now, it's a tie between the original Fate Grand Order Singularity, which is what most of the campaigns are called in that game, and Gothic horror fantasy western.
I'm
So,
totally on the Gothic horror fantasy western side.
That
Yeah.
sounds very
There are
interesting.
there are two other options, which is a typical fantasy setting for an tabletop RPG, and a Common Rider campaign. So for any of y'all who have not voted on that, please hop on over to my YouTube channel and cast your votes, because I'm going to start it up in June after I'm done moving.
Hey, Joseph, I just saw something cool.
What you see?
I am up to 400 subscribers.
Oh, I see it now. Nice. That's great. Congratulations. You should put an announcement in the community tab for that.
I will. Sorry, I just saw that and got excited because I've been after that for a little while.
Yeah, it's worth getting excited about. So, and tomorrow I'll continue my stream of the Fate Grand Order Railfront event. So I've done 2 battles up to now, and round 3 is tomorrow. So be sure to watch me on that.
And then my announcements, I'll be back next week.
Yeah.
All right, thank you both for joining me, and hope you both have a good night, and hope everyone else has one too.
Yeah. Have a good night, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight.
All right, take care, everyone.
All right. Good night, everybody.